It's crazy because when I first started coming into this room to take pictures, it was for my thumbnails for YouTube, but it's actually become a really enjoyable part of my morning because you guys, I've lost so much weight. So seeing my body transform and looking at it every day, it's exciting because it's like, wow, I'm finally doing what I wanted to do for so many years. And by so many years, I mean decades. Not decades, but at least one decade. I had been wanting to lose weight since, oh gosh, I would say post college is when I started putting on a whole bunch of weight. I was already overweight in my childhood, middle school, elementary school, half of high school. Once I started playing basketball, my sophomore year of high school, I lost a lot of weight, and I was able to keep that weight off through the rest of high school and into college because I played college basketball. But once I stopped playing college basketball, all of the weight and then a whole bunch more came on. And I didn't know how to get a grasp on it. And I had yo-yo dieted for so long and nothing ever worked. And you kind of get to a point where you start to accept, like, maybe I'm always going to be overweight. Like, maybe I'm never going to be healthy again. And that's literally how I started to feel, just because I couldn't get a grasp on my weight. And, like I said, I would yo-yo diet. So I would do good for a few months and then slip right back into my old habits. It never failed. One of the biggest things that I started enjoying about the gym is just being around other people who are also prioritizing their body, right? Whether they're starting out day one, never worked out a day in their life, to maybe they're bodybuilders or experts, whatever, personal trainers. It's just an enjoyable experience, even though we all have our headphones in, right? You get people, who come up and speak to you. You see the same faces regularly if you go to the same gym, especially if you go around the same time. So it's just like added motivation, I feel like, that the gym has. And I didn't start off working out in the gym. And for a lot of people, I could see why going to the gym may feel intimidating. I started off working out in my apartment complex gym, and fortunately it had all of the basics. It had a few cardio machines, so elliptical, bike, treadmills, Stairmaster. It had a few exercise machines, and then it had dumbbells and a Smith machine. So it was a pretty decent gym, I'm not gonna lie, as it should be for the price of the rent. But by starting off there, I was able to get comfortable with doing certain things, like getting back on a cardio machine, doing some weightlifting machines. I did have a personal trainer, and he showed me a lot. I still work with him to this day, and I would say that was probably one of the biggest things as to how I was able to lose the weight and keep it off this go around, because I hired someone who knew, and I think that's what's really important. Even if you can't necessarily hire someone, just watching YouTube videos on how to do certain things, because the last thing you want to do is hurt yourself. And if you do hurt yourself, you're probably going to be less likely to want to go back to the gym, because you're already going to look at it like, well, I hurt myself last time, so I'm not willing to hurt myself again, right? Even if the reason why you hurt yourself was because of poor form, you're probably not going to want to go again. So having someone who's knowledgeable and can teach you proper form is definitely an added bonus. And just having someone to hold you accountable. I go through phases. I've been on my weight loss journey for 2.5 years, and I would like to lose another 30 pounds of fat. I'll see where I'm at, but I think that's the goal as of right now. And when I say I go through phases, what I mean is I'll have weeks where I eat great, very clean, in a caloric deficit. And then I'll have weeks where I'm just kind of like, maybe not meal prepping like I should, eating out a little bit more than normal. And by the way, I'm vegan, so the places in which I can eat out are very limited. Really, when I eat out, it's either Cava or Panera. But, I can't control what they're putting in the food. I don't really know how many calories it is. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, when I go to Cava, I eat the whole bowl. There's no saving half. So having my trainer back has really helped me, because he's always asking me what I'm eating. And so it's like, you can tell a few white lies here and there, but at some point, he's going to be able to call me out on my bullshit. So I think having him back has been a great benefit for me. And also because I'm learning how to do stuff. I feel like you can always learn. Like, even though I've been in the gym for 2 years now, I would say I'm a lot more knowledgeable in weightlifting than when I first started, sure, but there's always room for improvement. And how else are you going to improve if you don't have someone, guiding you, or if you're not watching someone, you know what I mean? If you're not educating yourself. So having him back has been a great, great help for me. He's been back for, I think we're going on week 4, and I can already do floor push-ups. I couldn't do floor push-ups before because I wasn't doing them right. So that's what I mean by just having someone around that can teach you and guide you and hold you accountable. Those things are really, really important, and I feel like we should put more emphasis on the importance of that. The gym has literally become my new addiction. Well, not new. I've been addicted to the gym for a while. 2 years. But I used to have a lot of addictions. I used to be addicted to food. I used to drink a lot, a lot, a lot. I used to smoke weed. I just had a lot of stuff going on. But I love the gym because when I work so hard at something like these push-ups that you guys see, and then finally getting to a point in my fitness journey where I can do one or do three or do four, it's exciting. That within itself is addictive as hell. Like just seeing the progress, seeing all of your hard work finally paying off, especially when you go through periods where you don't see the results that you want to see. But despite that, you're still sticking with the program. You're still showing up every single day. You're still putting in that hard work. You're still cutting your calories. You're still walking that mile. You're just doing everything that you're supposed to do. And then finally one day, it gets easier. Or finally one day, you see a quad muscle. Right? Or your shoulders start to poke out, or you start to see some biceps, or you start to see a side pack. It's just those moments where you're just like, yes, at least for me, at least. And I have truly become addicted to that. It's great. It's amazing. My back was the first part of my body that got toned first. And then it was my shoulders. And then I started to see my delts. And then I started to see some side abs. Then I started to see some quads. If you look there, you guys can see the side of my quads, aren't they so pretty? And it's like every month or every 2 months, you just start to see something new. And it's like, oh my God, what is that? What is that? Oh my God. Is that muscle poking out? And I love making content to show it, because as I edit this video, I can see the progress. And that's why I tell you guys, like, record yourself. Even if you don't post it, like, just record yourself, because even I get amazed at what I see, from the camera's perspective versus what I see when I'm looking in the mirror. It's two different things. So, you might look in the mirror or turn to the side and you don't feel like you don't see anything. But if you record yourself, you might be like, oh, wow. Or like, for instance, with my back, like I can't see my back. I don't have eyes in the back of my body, right? But when I look right here and I see those traps, I'm like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh shit. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I get addicted to the progress of just putting in that work every day and finally seeing what I've been wanting to see for all these years. One thing that I've been working on these past few months is not being super hard on myself and giving myself grace. I used to be my own biggest bully. I used to critique every single thing that I did, and it was very toxic. And I did that for years on years on years. And it wasn't until I started going to counseling where I learned that that's what I was doing and I need to stop. And as I've progressed on my fitness journey, sometimes I get frustrated with myself because I'm like, gosh, why can't I do this? Or why is this weight so heavy? I should be able to do 100 pounds by now, or I should be able to do this, right? I start to feel entitled to the progress, if that makes sense. And one thing about working out, especially if you are like me, where, I was a couch potato for years on years. I'm 33. You have to understand everything that you're doing takes time. And whatever your goals are when it comes to weight loss or fitness or just anything, to be honest, whatever your goals are, go ahead and double and triple the time limit that you're setting for yourself, because 9 times out of 10, you are underestimating how long it's going to take to do something. And let's give an example. Let's say you want to go on vacation, and so your goal is to look super sexy in a bikini, but your vacation is in 4 weeks from now, and maybe you have some belly fat that you want to get rid of, whatever. I bet you it's going to take you longer than 4 weeks to get rid of it, but you have underestimated the time that it takes to do it the healthy way. Emphasis on the word healthy. And so you're going to end up disappointing yourself because you aren't able to reach the goal that you want to reach in the time frame that you set. And when you disappoint yourself, it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel like you can't do something. You lose motivation. You lose that drive. It's just not a good feeling to be in, right? And I think that's another reason why I was always yo-yo dieting, because I would go through periods where I had these goals to lose 50 pounds in 2 months. And like sitting here telling you guys this, it's funny. Like I can't help but laugh, but I don't know what was going through my head back then. A whole bunch of nonsense. But anyways, I wanted to lose 50 pounds in 1 month. And when I only was able to drop 10, then I'm like, well, F it. Just F it. There's no point of doing this anymore, right? So I would lose motivation, I would lose drive, I would start to feel trapped, and the cycle would just continuously repeat itself. So that's why I say, like, go ahead and double, triple, quadruple, even 6 times the time limit that you're putting on these goals that you have, because I promise you, it's going to take a lot longer than you anticipated. I remember this was like a year ago. I was doing seated shoulder press, and I was so excited because I was finally able to do 25-pound dumbbells without assistance, without a spotter. And I was like, okay. Well, if that's the case, then I should be able to do 100-pound dumbbell seated shoulder press by this time next year. That's cute. Not even close. Did I make progress? Yes. Last time I did them, I could do 50s with a spotter nearby. So that's why I laugh at some of these goals that I have, because they're very unrealistic in the period that I'm expecting to reach it. So just be mindful of that, and, give your body grace and just appreciate how much it is doing for you already. We put our bodies through so much, and, even if you don't see the progress that you want to see right now, just be thankful that you're still able to get up and move. You're still able to lift weights. You're still able to walk without a walker. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of times we take stuff for granted, and we need to stop that. And I know I do. So I'm working on grace and being patient, not beating myself up like I used to, and just enjoying the journey. Something else that I have started doing recently was taking a rest day. For most of 2024, I was working out literally every single day. And when I say working out, basically doing what you guys have seen me doing, like lifting weights every single day. Not necessarily the same muscle groups. I had a 3-day split. I had push, pull, leg. But I never took a rest day. And it was for a few reasons. One, I really love lifting weights. Like, if I could live in a gym, I would. I am manifesting, and I'm big on manifestation. I am manifesting a home gym with all the bells and whistles in the future. Like, I would love that because I just love the gym. So my logic was, well, if I take a rest day, what am I going to do for 2 hours on this rest day? Like, what? And the other reason why I didn't take a rest day, and actually someone commented and challenged me on why I wasn't taking a rest day, and really had me thinking about what they said, because they were right. They said to me, I think the reason why you're not taking a rest day is because you're afraid that you'll lose momentum if you take a day off. And I definitely resonated with that, because the old me, before the weight loss, before all the fitness goals and stuff, I would start something but never finish it. And since I've been going so hard these past 2 years to lose this weight and to get into the best shape of my life, I became fearful that if I took a break, that I might not start back up and slowly fall back into my old habits, which was being a couch potato. But I had to remind myself that I'm not the same woman that I was 2-3 years ago. This version of me has prioritized wellness. I prioritize exercise. I prioritize eating clean. I prioritize sleep. I prioritize my mental health. So, with all that being said, all of these tools that I've learned these past few years while on this journey, I won't fall back into my old habits, because I'm just a completely different person. So now I take a rest day and I come back so much stronger the next day. I've actually started appreciating my rest days just because I can finally rest.